Are we recording yet? Oh,
You're good.
my apologies. Good evening, everyone. This is the meeting of the Police Accountability Board of Georgia County, Maryland. Today's date, September 10th, 2025. The time is now 6:40 p.m. We'll call the meeting for a little take, bro. Vice Chair James. Sanchez.
Present virtually.
I see you, present virtually, but we didn't hear you. Give a thumbs up to the present virtually. Okay, thank you, sir. Mrs. Bryant? I am here. Thank you. Mrs. Springs?
Present virtually.
Mrs. Springs, I see you there, but if you come on mute, just so we can hear.
Oh, you didn't hear me? Hello, can you hear me?
Okay. If
Present
you said
virtually,
something, we
sorry.
can't hear you, but you can just do the thumbs up, emoji. Okay, okay, do an emoji too, I like that, thank you, Mrs. Springs. Dr. Cole? Mr. Jones?
I think so.
Melton? Present. Thank you, Mr. O'Neill? Present. Thank you, sir. Mrs. Maxwell? And present. Yeah. You can't also present. Thank you. Okay. No, we did not hear anyone.
Can you hear me?
So,
Mic check, 1 2 1 2.
and then Mrs. Maxwell is waiting. So, while we get Mrs. Maxwell, I don't know if you have any audio issues.
Yeah,
Okay, Mrs.
I'm here
Maxwell.
now. My apologies.
We
I'm
cannot
sorry.
hear you at the present time, so, can you just give us a thumbs up, call you on the roll, so that, just so that you're present. You can't hear anything?
It's
Shake your
muddled.
head if you can say, do this and sound here.
Okay, but we do see you, so just for the okay. Can we send them a message in the chat to see if they can hear? Anyone can hear us? Well, if we can hear them, they can hear us, if I'm not mistaken. But we cannot hear them. Oh, you can, okay. Can someone come off mute just to speak so we can clarify whether, no?
Hello, hello.
They cannot hear us, okay.
Hi, good evening, Stephanie Maxwell.
Mrs. Maxwell says she's hearing a sound, but not clear.
Right,
Okay,
it's muddled.
I think we can hear each other, but they can't hear us.
can we type, that we are having audio difficulties at the moment, and then we will take care of them and then resume? I'm sorry.
Okay.
Thank you, Ms. Allen. All right. Okay, so we will fix this. So can anyone come off mute and try to speak?
Hello, good evening.
Okay, didn't hear you, Mrs. Maxwell. So I think we're still having some issues.
We're gonna pause it.
Yep, we're going to just pause it and we can just put it in there. So I'll just repeat, I'll state it, and hopefully you guys can read the caption. We're going to pause the meeting for a brief second and then come right back. Okay, thank you. All right, well, we'll start all over again. We did take the roll. So just for the record, I'll just go over the names again. We'll go start all over again just so we can just say present. All right. Vice Chair James? Present. Thank you, sir. Sanchez?
Present virtually.
Thank you, sir. Mrs. Bryant? Thank you, ma'am. Mrs. Springs?
Present virtually.
Thank you, ma'am. Dr. Coleman? Daniel Jones? Mr. Melton? Mr. O'Neill?
Present.
Yes, and Mrs. Maxwell?
Present virtually.
Thank you, ma'am. Mrs. Ridley? I am present, so we have one, and Attorney Camp.
Present, sir.
Thank you, ma'am. All right. Thank you, and thank you for your patience. Moving on to the agenda. Review and approval of the minutes from August 27, 2025. Does anyone need additional time reviewing those minutes? Okay.
Motion to adopt minutes.
Thank you, sir. Motion to adopt the minutes made by Mr. Sanchez, and second, Mrs. Bryant. All in favor to adopt the minutes from August 27th, 2025, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstaining? All right. Next up, subcommittee reports and updates. We'll start off with appointments and nominations. Who will speak with them?
All right, I will. So relatively short, update. We again have shared with you all that we did receive from staff 8 total, candidates for AHB appointment. After reviewing those, they are, generally the same individuals who we had to assess prior to where we were able to make 2 interview selections from. So we will be revisiting and reviewing those individuals for candidacy for an interview. However, we did receive an additional candidate, which would make our pool, I think, 9. And so we intend to have sort of a more recent meeting next week. I think we've agreed on Monday to discuss our evaluations. So we've tasked ourselves with evaluating the credentials all over again, coming back together to discuss and build a consensus about what we recommend for an interview.
So you're gonna interview all 9 for each trial?
No, we're gonna have a discussion Monday, a meeting, so that we can come to a consensus. So just hear the feedback from the subcommittee. Some people might not agree. We'll come to a consensus on who we think is, justified to receive an interview. One of our concerns is potential bias and things like that from some of the credentials. And so we'll just discuss as a subcommittee and make our recommendation on who we think should be interviewed. And then I think we'll move into the next phase of trying to schedule those interviews and making that available to the rest of the team.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Melton. Questions?
So you said, have you sent out the letter that you sent out?
Oh, yes, thank you. That letter that the board approved, I think it's my understanding that Evan did send it out. She confirmed with me that she felt that it was, she had issued a deadline, so once we met the deadline, she called me and said, "Oh, yeah, I'm about to send it out. Are you okay?" So, yeah.
Let's put that out to you. To you.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Melton. Next up, cases and complaints.
Okay. So our subgroup also met and went through a pretty thorough consideration of how we would like to best address case review. knowing that there are a number of cases, even going back to when the legislation passed, there's a number of ways we could slice review, and then sort of what conclusions could we draw from, well, should say conclusion. But what type of proposed ideas could we pull from that amount of data? Through our discussion, and this is obviously open for comment from the rest of the board, we are strongly considering taking information for 2025, which will then bring it a little bit more, make it more concise and relevant for our end of year report. But we are also considering looking even further into the cases that actually made it to, that were requested to go before a trial. Obviously, complaints and cases that we receive are gonna go through the process. But I think we looked at how can we make some of our information and evaluations more poignant. And it seemed to us that the questions around why an officer would want to contest a particular finding seem to have a lot of relevance to us. So we are open to other opinions about that, but we think that that is a pretty targeted evaluation and a good scope for us to try to achieve in the time that we have leading into our end of year. So just to repeat, that would be us targeting cases and complaints that led to an officer contesting the disciplinary outcome and wanting to go to a trial. So we would have more of a targeted scope and be able to come back with, I guess, findings that we may be able to want to investigate further.
And then I guess, you would have to wait for the, whatever the outcome was of that hearing, to, I guess, also have some of that data to show what the outcomes would be, whether they are being dismissed, the continuing the punishment, if they've been dropped down, things like that. I think that that's something that we need.
Yeah, so as you just pointed out, we just thought of like 4 or 5 different intersections of questions that could come from looking at just that type of a data set. So you can imagine how if we just look at everything, how that can go so much further. So we just felt like a targeted scope like that would be a little bit more reasonable and realistic to really pull something that would make some substantive sort of like, and again, we don't have findings just yet, but at least we want to start with a subset like that and really see if there's anything that we can glean from that type of data.
And I think maybe we should be able to reach out to the AHP program manager and potentially get some data now so we can provide that for you. Okay, thank you.
I have a question. With regards to the outcome of the AHB, is it policy that whatever the AHB decides is the final word, even though what we recommended and what the officer found, that's the final word, so they can make some kind of arrangements to drop the case and that kind of thing. Is that true?
That is my understanding, that the judge can make a determination on the appeal, so to speak, and that would be the final determination. Yeah.
Administratively, they still have the judicial.
Yeah.
Give them charges.
Thank you again, Mr. Moulton. Next up, community outreach.
Okay, so one of the things I wanted to talk about was the blue light nights. It's a collaboration between Prince George's County Police Department and municipal law enforcement agencies designed to build positive relationships between the police and community by promoting crime prevention and neighborhood youth. This is an event that's sponsored by the PD. And the board is welcome. We've been invited to join the community outreach portion of the Blue Light Nights, where officers can distribute surveys at 7-Eleven to community members. So this is a great opportunity to engage with community and get suggestions on how to improve policing. And also recognize officers who are doing a great job in their roles. And if we're interested in participating, we would all like to include our stakeholders. Would also be engaged in that. That was a question.
Anyone?
For purposes of the minutes, can you go in more detail about stakeholders?
Yeah, we really haven't developed them, but
So I may be in the minority in this, but I have always said that I feel very awkward. Being at police-led events, knowing that our message isn't contrary to police, but the messaging and our intent, in our presence just seems to be, again, without lack of a better word, just seems awkward at police events where their aim is to connect and build with the community. And so I feel like even our purpose just sheds a little bit of an awkward light on policing in the county. So at their events, I always feel awkward. And I didn't share this with the group, but I actually had a pretty awkward interaction at National Night Out as well. And it's for that very reason. It feels like, again, as an oversight body and just kind of being at their events, from a general perspective, it just seems odd. I don't know if anybody else do.
I personally enjoy nights out, and most of the people that also go to citizens ask the devil out there. I did not go, but I could think of my. Anybody else have any suggestions or questions about that?
I just came over there. To my table, what I basically told the people, here's the ones you got to play, Spanish and English. You know what I mean? You take them. You want to come in, so you can take them, you know what I mean? And gave them the leaf book and showed them how to go to our website, sell just for the class. Yep. So, how, I mean, I see what you're saying, but also mean person they gotta do some research themselves. They can go to these things. I think what we can't do, we have to do many community led so people won't see us all at police events, you know what I mean?
Okay, and really, when I was there, a lot of people weren't aware of us. So I guess what makes me, open to this kind of, for our interaction, is that that's where the people are. So wherever the people are, let them know that we exist, and how to reach us, like Mr. Neal was saying. That's our purpose, not to, log the police, but just to be there. That's my opinion, but I think Carlo had his hand up.
Dr. Cole, go ahead, Mr. Sanchez.
Thank you. I would tend to somewhat agree with Mr. Melton's comments there. I think we also have to be aware that the work that we do is to draw potentially people who have had more negative interactions with police to feel comfortable to come forward. And one of the concerns is that those are not people also that will attend events that are sponsored by the police. And so it's important for us, I think, to make sure that part of the work that we're doing is also to put on our own events that will create that environment that is more open and welcoming for people who may have whatever concerns if they're around police a lot. And I think maybe part of, if I remember correctly, some of the conversations we've had over the last couple of years is also concerns that if we start to look like we're too closely aligned with the police, it can also hurt the confidence that those individuals who might want to come forward may have in our ability to, they don't understand the work that we do, right? And so if we can't even get in front of them so that they understand how we work and what our purpose is, that it may hamper that. So I think it's a balance. It's a careful balance, right? And I think you're absolutely right. We got to get out in front of people where people are, but we also have to be aware that there are a lot of people who won't go to those events for the very reason that we exist. And so we have to be very thoughtful and intentional about making sure that we're creating spaces for people to come that may never go to those police sponsored events. But I definitely appreciate the fact that you are giving us those opportunities to get out in front of people, which I think is always very important.
Thank you, Mr. Sanchez. Dr. Coleman, you had your hand up? You didn't? Somebody told me that you did. I just volunteered you. Mr. James.
I share Carlo and Lafayette's position on this one. I think that we have to be very cognizant of that. It's tough for us to be at an event that is being hosted by the police department. And especially if we show up in blue shirts too, as an example, right? I've already got an issue with people in uniform, and now I got to talk to the people in uniform. It doesn't yield that type of interaction and engagement. So I think we have to find that right balance. And one of those things is to host events and connect with community groups to do that.
And I agree with you wholeheartedly. So one of the things that, like I said, when I went to Nights Out, a lot of people wanted us to come and do presentations, come to go through some of them. So if they don't know who we are, then we have an opportunity to tell them.
So I'm on the fence with both, right? And I've always said that we need all parties involved. The board that represents the citizens, but we also need to make sure that law enforcement is included and the community. I think that when I saw the stakeholders, I can look at that as a community member. We can take a community member with us. That would be something that we could do. And as opposed to stakeholders, just take a citizen and reach out to them. I think because we all need each other to coexist and improve the quality of life around policing. I think that a message that can be conveyed, that citizen can then take it back to their community. But I think it's awareness on both sides. So I do understand the apprehension about being at these types of events. And I heard what Mr. Sanchez says, but I think that it would be important. So if we could, I know it's coming up. We do have some time, so maybe if we could talk to Ms. Allen, and maybe she knows some community people that she could recommend, and they can send something in or something like that. But I think that it's an opportunity, one, to bring the community to these types of events, to understand that we all need each other to coexist. So I'm on the fence with both of them, but I've always stated that I think that it's important to have all parties involved, whether that is at the community events or at the law enforcement agency events. Now, I can see if there was an event that was from the community, we're not going to take a law enforcement agency and a police officer. But I think at an event like this that is giving back to the community, when we represent the citizens, if we bring the citizens with us, I think that we all know somebody from our community. But we'll ask Ms. Allen if that's something that she could do, and then she'll send it out. But I do like it both ways. So we can take a vote on it. But we can't state, we don't know the date and things like that. We see it, but
We know that we're waiting.
right.
Okay, well,
I have a hand up.
sorry.
Oh, who had that? Oh, Mrs. Maxwell. Thank you, man, for it.
No worries. Just kind of wanted to chime in on the comments. I'm in the sweet spot of a hybrid. I think you need both because we may not have the name recognition that we want. So you tag in with the community events, you build your brand, and then you have your own individual events so that we can showcase who we are. So I'm kind of in the sweet spot. I think I heard that mentioned from a couple of people in terms of doing both.
Thanks.
Strike a balance, that's what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
Okay, so do you want to vote on this? Or?
Mrs. Springs.
Yes, just want to follow, what Ms. Maxwell is saying. I do agree that we should, in my opinion, we should do both. It should be a balance. So when we vote, if there's a way that we can have, that as an option, because I think we need to be concerned about the people that are talking about who may not want to see us there, but we also have to make sure that we have a relationship with, the officers as well. So, I think we should do more of a balance, as Ms. Maxwell and others have said.
Okay, so how about this? How about, since we've done, the Chiefs meeting, National Night Out, let's look forward to trying to do something. I think we have some other things
Yeah,
coming up.
yeah.
So we'll go ahead and do that. That way we create a balance.
Okay.
So, thank you.
Okay, so there's a link here to talk about some of the Hispanic Heritage Month events that are happening. And, we can look at that and see if there's something that we want to get to. I really do like being in the community, and when they ask, can we do it? It really does, make me think that we have opportunities to get our word out. So speaking of that, the Division 3 and 8 coffee chat on October 1st. Mr. Jones has volunteered to give that presentation. The link, I can send it out so that we can listen. There is a Faith and Blue. This is something that Angie introduced me to. So, a national initiative grounded in the belief that strong communities are built through collaboration between law enforcement and faith-based organizations. So that's what's called Faith and Blue from October 10th through the 13th. There's only one event in Prince George's County. There's an interest. We can delve further into that.
I have a question about the Hispanic Heritage Month. Do we have a point of contact? Because I think it's good we go out to Hispanic community. But
So usually those are from Parks and Recreation. So
Okay.
what we do is click on the link, and that's, we can find but each event will have a different point of contact.
I think that one's really good.
Okay.
Oh, that's, okay, so it's a month.
Yes,
Okay.
month.
Yeah, perfect.
September 15th through October. Okay. The next thing is that, the president, Ina Fells, president of the, Woodlawn Community Association, invited us to make a presentation at their virtual monthly meeting. And the next meeting is October 16th at 7 or November 20th, if we vote on making that part of our schedule.
16. David.
That's on a Thursday,
Thursday.
and then November 20th.
Is this like a community, sort of like a HOA meeting?
Yeah,
What
like
is this, a
association.
community, a city there?
Mhm. Okay, so do we want to further solidify the dates? Do we want to vote?
But yeah, I mean, put to a motion. We'd like to do that, and that's Thursday, October 16th at 7 p.m.
Or November 1st?
Oh, for November, okay. So I think that if we vote, we need to pick the date as well.
Well, I know I won't be here in October 16th. But, November 20th. Okay. So I make a motion that we, make a presentation at the Woodlawn Community Association on November 30th, November 20th at 7 p.m. It's a virtual one.
Oh, it's virtual,
Yes.
okay.
That's
Motion was
on
made,
Thursday.
motion was made to approve the attendance of the Police Accountability Board on Thursday, November 20th, virtually for the Woodlawn Community Association's meeting. Is there a second?
At 7.
At 7 p.m., thank you.
Second.
Mr. James, is second. All in favor to attend the Woodlawn Community Association meeting, to provide a presentation on Thursday, November 20th, 2025 at 7 p.m. Say aye. So that would be Mr. James, Mrs. Bryant, and Mr. Melton. I'm sorry, and then, oh, yeah. I'm sorry, I didn't know if you had your hand up. No, okay.
I thought you were taking a vote.
Oh, yes, ma'am. So your hand was up for the.
Yeah, I said I was fine.
Oh, okay, so then that would be. Okay, Mr. O'Neill. Yes, sir. Oh, you said that you're, yes, 1, 2, 5, okay.
Six,
Dr. Coleman.
6, Dr. Coleman.
seven,
7,
eight,
8. Oh, 9.
nine.
Okay, so that's unanimous, right?
Every day.
Okay, yeah. I did, I watched 9. Yes, ma'am. So, yeah, okay.
The AARP, which is one of the groups that I met at the National Health, would like for us to participate, not as a presenter, but just bring materials at their information forum. They usually have like 150 people. It's very big organization. And no, it's not. But they meet at the Knights of Columbus building, well, it's called the FXPX building, on, Stewart Road in Boston. So that happens, like I said, on January 6th, well. So can we, I'd like to make a motion that we, provide a person or table to participate in the AARP, information session on January 6th. Well,
And let me see what date that is. What date is it? Tuesday, so, thank you. And you make a motion, Mrs. Bryant?
yes, I do.
Okay, motion was made by Mrs. Bryant to attend the AARP meeting to provide a table and just some handouts and literature on January 6th, that's Tuesday, January 6th at 12 p.m. Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. Second by Dr. Coleman. All right, all in favor to attend the AARP meeting for presentation on Tuesday, January 26th. I'm sorry, January 6th, 2026, 26 at 12 noon. Say aye or show of hands. Yes, sir.
Is anyone committing to doing that?
To doing
The 6th one. I mean, this is 12 o'clock on a Tuesday, as long as somebody's committing.
I'll make sure.
Okay.
So, I know you guys are virtual online, so a motion was made by, okay, well, everybody's on their hand, vote, Mrs. Springs, I saw you can raise your hand, don't act like you were scratching on this second. So that's, Mrs. Maxwell, Mrs. Springs, Dr. Coleman, and Mr. Sanchez, Mr. James, Mr. O'Neill,
And
Ms. Bryant, Mr. Melton, and, well, okay, so it's unanimous 9.
okay,
And Mrs. Bryant will be the one who will be taking that.
I'll just probably use a small table.
Well, it's
Well, I
swag,
would tell
right?
you, those, keychains were very popular. I don't know if we can get some more, but they both ran out of them. Pardon me? Oh,
Thank you.
Can I make a small suggestion?
sure.
I guess a request. Is it possible to, or whenever possible, can we ask points of contact for event propositions if they have an estimated attendance, like a number? Because I think that would be helpful for my voting
I see.
and where we invest our time, even for you or others who are gone. Granted, I think the other part of that for me is the connection with the population, like if we could just identify and connect a lot of our invested time towards specific populations, One, whether it's based on demographics, or two, where we think there may be a disconnect with knowing much about what our intent is and the complaint process. If we just have some connection to these events. I heard that we want to get the word out there, and I get that, but we can't be everywhere at all times. So where we invest our time, what events we pick, I think just having a little bit of additional context would be helpful, especially if we're going to vote on where we put our effort.
Well, this particular one is addressing seniors.
Yeah, which I love,
Yeah.
but what if it's 5 people? Like, we
Usually
might
they
not,
have
we
like
might.
300.
Yeah, but I'm just saying,
Sure.
if that's presented, we know the context, and we can say, okay, yeah, that's perfect, that's great.
That's good.
Thank you, Mr. Melton.
Did we ever? Did we ever?
Can you give Mr. O'Neill the microphone?
Did we ever do a breakdown of the survey? And do a presentation to see what the community is looking for, and what they see in us?
Mhm.
Because I think, around that, I think if it's possible, instead of going to everybody, we still, by the end of the year, we should take one of these libraries and have a meeting and send it out to the public so we can do it. Stop doing other people's stuff.
Yeah. When we closed the survey, I did, report to you all, and I broke everything down. I did an analysis of the questions that were asked and how it broke out, among sort of what the questions were asked, what, oh, sorry. And what the community, wanted, as far as, sorry, this one's. Oh, here we go. Is that better?
Yes, yeah.
So I did a presentation, which I can resend to everybody, that breaks out sort of what the responses were from the community about what they prized more, as far as whether they wanted you all to do community meetings more, whether they wanted a legislative like newsletter, whether they wanted you all to do more meetings with the chiefs, that kind of thing. And sort of where they stood as far as their knowledge of the work that you all do here in the community. So I can resend that. That survey has closed. We've now opened the 2026 one, which will be open longer. And so I'm hoping our goal is to have at least a 30% better response rate than we did. Last year was our first one. This is our second one. So our hope is that we get the word out more. Of course, this year we'll have it there longer. It's our second one, so it'll be out there. So not only did we, are the results out there, but for the one for the chiefs, we had 2 surveys, one for the community and one for the police chiefs. And I've actually also, just this last week, given the chiefs their feedback on their survey as well, to let them know what their feedback was. So everybody is sort of well aware, but I can send that back out to the board, to you all. To
The
let
only
you
thing
know.
I was saying, I know you sent it out.
Yeah.
So I think we need to have you give us a presentation at the board.
Presentation, sure.
So we can go over this, so we can see it. You know, I
Okay.
might have read it, you might have read it, but I think we needed a discussion. So
Okay.
we can do that, because like we saying, we doing it in groups. I mean, I'm not, the ARP is great, but that's a old lady who got bumped in the grocery store or something. She ain't sending no complaint. We gotta find some of the people who are vulnerable, who have complaints, and we have to do a presentation. And even then, if we do a meeting, we have to send it out to the stakeholders, send it out to the general public, to the other people to come to our meetings, so we have questions, so people will know what to do. You just said, we have to have a meeting of our own, these 50 to 100 people. So people ask us questions, they're not getting asked me, getting asked.
Well, I think that's a great idea, but I don't know who said it. But first you have to build up your your face, let people know that you're there. Before I think people will even come out just for police accountability board. I think we discussed this before, where I was suggesting like a stuff for the kids and all of that, because what's the draw? Some people really wouldn't be interested in just coming out for a police accountability.
But I think that's what I'm saying, when we send it out, we have to say, know your rights. Know your rights. When you're confronting the police, you know what I mean? That's the draw. I mean, because people do not know about this.
Well, I will tell you that in looking at the data, and I discussed this with Ebony about 2 days ago. And I told her that one of the things that, in looking at the data that came back, one of the things that people wanted, a lot of people don't even know what civilian oversight is, right? And one of the things that they asked for was they wanted a community meeting at least quarterly. I don't know that there's the capacity to do that right now, but at least if we have one, maybe in the beginning of the year 2026, in which you bring them and you say, okay, civilian oversight, we know it's a buzzword. What does that mean? And you bring people together and we have somebody who's a speaker that is someone who can actually draw a crowd. And they say civilian oversight, this is what the PAB does. And this is what it means to you. And this is what we're here for. And you pretty much lay it out on the line and say, this is what we do. It brings people in, they know it. It's sort of like an ABC of what the PAB does. You bring them in, you give them something to eat, and you know, it'll be, if something is a crowd draw and you give them information, and I think from that, it will spread the word, feed their brain, and I think it'll be very, it'll be innovative and not something that you all have done before. And I think that would be good.
That's what I was saying, is that
Right.
we could basically, say we did it in, over there, Fort Washington. Mine is that library and contact the delegates and the council people,
Right.
to have them to send it out to their people
Right.
to come to the meeting, you know what I mean?
Yes, yes.
You know what I mean? That's what I'm saying. I mean, like, the delegate, which, whatever, things like that, and to tell them to do it, because, you know,
We talked about it too. It's still in the sort of planning stages, but we did talk about it 2 days ago. So, when we have something maybe a little bit more fully fleshed out, then we'll bring it to you.
That sounds
So,
great.
so how about this? How about, as Mr. O'Neill requested, that we do get a presentation of the data that we have collected too, not just so that we can see it, but so the citizens can see it as well.
Yeah,
I think that's important too. I think that when we start doing these community outreach things, we start to let them know or ask them specifically what it is they like to see, what they be interested in attending, because I think that the slides that Mrs. Bryant developed may answer some of those questions when we do some presentations as well. And so we can tweak it. I think that it's something definitely that we can look into tweaking, but if we can get that presentation just to the board members as well as the public, I think that will help. That'll be one of the ways, and then we can always have the QR code for that in that presentation so that they'll be able to take that.
Yeah, that was my question, if the survey could, the QR code to get just directly to the survey.
Sure.
Because what we have now will take us to the website, but it doesn't like
Take it to
take
the
you
survey.
to the water. Yeah.
Okay.
so point of clarification, do you want me to give you a presentation on the survey results?
Yeah,
Or,
I'd like to see.
Yes,
okay,
So I'll make that an agenda item.
for the next meeting. Yes. Thank you.
thank you, Chair.
Sure, you're
So
welcome.
Giddy sent that on 7/10, if you want to go take a look.
Thank you.
So one of the, I don't think I put it in here, I forgot to do that, is for us to do the municipalities, to make presentations to the municipalities. We talked about it briefly before, which I included the list of the municipalities. And what I'd like to see is for us to have the presentation with that municipality prior to the quarterly chiefs meeting. We can make that a standard thing. What? Standard. Questions, comments?
So we have,
Question. I didn't hear the last part. Make what standard? I'm sorry.
Having presentations at the municipalities at some point before we have the quarterly chiefs meeting for that respective municipality.
Okay. Thank you.
Mr. O'Neill, you had a question, sir?
so I say, do we have a quarterly meeting coming up?
What,
Chiefs meeting.
Back in August.
November.
It's November.
Okay.
So we have October, the rest of September and October to do, if we decide that's something we want.
We know the chief said we're gonna meet November.
Yes, it's-
I can send it to.
Okay. So you're saying go to those meetings, town,
mhm.
before we meet that chief.
Just so that we can glean information from the community, just what's going on here, what are y'all?
I just wanted to mention, might be helpful, there's something like on Route 1, there's a Gateway Development Authority that has 6 municipalities in the same place. And so if you were trying to do that, you would be able to meet with 6 mayors at one time if they were in some of the municipalities of the chiefs.
So their offices are on the same building?
No, but they have a community development group. They have a community revitalization group. They all sit on this. So instead of having to go to separate ones, that might be a place to talk to some of them.
We think about that sometimes.
But they're all across Route 1, so you can get 6 on time.
The only thing you might not get dynamics. You might not get the dynamics of that. With just the mayors being in the council, the little council, because there's a lot of dynamics. I sit down for the municipality meeting out in Ocean City. Sometimes it's friction when the mayor don't get around, councilman so.
But this was just the mayors, and I was saying if we don't have enough time to get to each one of, it's just another option to get to, that's all.
Thank you. Okay, so then.
So we
Usually
don't-
it's what, three chiefs, 3 to 5?
I can tell you who's coming, who's confirmed if you'd like.
Okay,
Hyattsville Police Department, Fairmont Heights Police Department, Prince George's County Fire Marshal's Office, Prince George's Community College, and there's still a few that I have not heard back from. But Hyattsville, Fairmont Heights, the Fire Marshal, and Prince George's Community College will all be in attendance and have confirmed.
Two of us right off. That's fire department and
yeah,
Prince George's County, they right off, so yeah. Said two municipalities.
Fairmont Heights and Heights.
And I-
Okay, so that was the, on the third Wednesdays, they have their council meeting. So, like I said, that would not be difficult to make 2 presentations in the quarter. Because we know which police municipal chiefs there will be at our chiefs meeting. So we'll have the whole quarter to get to do those presentations. So I make a move that we make it part of standard procedure is, given the availability of the member, that we make presentations to the municipalities prior to the quarterly chiefs meeting with that police chief of that municipality.
Motion was made by Mrs.
I have a
Bryant.
I actually have a clarifying question. My hand's up before the motion.
Sorry, yes,
We
ma'am.
need a second, so.
Need a second so we can discuss it.
Second.
Okay, motion was
Who
made.
gave the second?
Mr. O'Neill gave a second. Yes, ma'am, Mrs. Bryant. I'm sorry. Yes, ma'am, Mrs. Maxwell.
Sorry about that. Yeah, I raised my hand too soon. I'm still trying to understand what we're trying to do. Are we saying to go to the municipal meetings to make a presentation or to hear the concerns? Like, I'm still unclear what our purpose is and what we're trying to do before the meeting. Is it to make a presentation about who we are, or is it to hear what residents have to say to the mayor? I'm fuzzy on what we're doing.
I think a bit of both, introduce ourselves, say what we do, and then, ask them, ask the mayor to ask if there are issues that they've encountered that they'd like to talk about.
The reason I say that, because usually a lot of these municipalities, they have agendas, and so it's like you have to get on their agenda
Yes.
actually, and that could be far out. They may not put you on when you want to go. You may say, I'd like to come before your group. And then, so I said, okay, so to speak and see what their concerns are and then bring it back to the meeting is what you're saying when we meet with the chief?
Yes.
So I guess she has to call, Angie would have to call them to and say it's impossible to happen first.
So, okay, now, thank you for that, Mrs. Maxwell. One of the things, what I think that we can do is this, before we move forward with that, how about we develop the survey? Maybe we can develop a three chiefs meetings survey to that particular municipality. Have those surveys sent out to those chiefs municipalities before the meeting. I think that would be doable. That way we can gain some, and we can just have some general questions that can be standard or develop them to whatever is that we're seeing from that particular area. But I think that, in my opinion, I'm throwing it out there. I think that having an additional survey is for the three chiefs. Because looking at it, like Mrs. Maxwell said, potentially getting an agenda and then making that commitment, rather than to make a lot of commitment about being in a lot of places and everywhere. I think that we can use electronic
And
methods.
how would we target the people in that municipality?
So we can go to the county council member or the mayor and ask them to send it out to their residents.
Okay.
And we can ask Ms. Allen to do that.
Some survey to council, they even know about it, where they send it out.
Yeah, so that's what I'm suggesting. And so maybe, Mrs. Brown, that could be something that you can develop some of those questions and then bring it back to us so we can take a look at that. I think that way we can kind of capture what's being said. And then also what that will do is we'll let the people know who are signed up to receive the emails about us as well.
Okay. That's great.
Oh, sorry, thank you. There was a hand up. Oh, Mr. Sanchez.
Yeah, thank you. I think you beat me to the punch, but my suggestion was going to be that perhaps we should develop a form letter, a standard letter that we send out at the beginning of the quarter, that goes out to the mayor and the council, that lets them know that, we're going to have a meeting with their chief coming up in a couple months, and that, by a certain deadline, we would like to get feedback from the mayor and the council members, so that, if there are issues that they would like for us to discuss or things that they would like for us to be aware of, then we're kind of doing that, because Miss Allen has done a really good job of scheduling these out for the entire year. So I think if we give the mayor and the councils enough time, we could just have that kind of be an automatic process where, okay, we know that in 3 months we're going to have this meeting. So on a certain date, we sent this letter out. We give them a date by which we want to have feedback back. And that way staff can kind of compile all of that for us to be able to look at our final meeting before we have the meetings with the chiefs. And maybe that'll adjust questions that we might ask or anything else. So I think we could just create a process where we're proactively reaching out to any municipalities that we're going to be meeting with those chiefs.
I think that's an excellent idea, and thanks for bringing that up. So, do we still need to vote on that?
Mr. James has something.
I was only going to add, I would probably start with those municipalities that may have a public safety board. They already may have something within it that may allow you to adjust your questions so that you're getting useful feedback. So that may be something to start out with initially to build that tool.
Right, and it's a lot less, physical. departments, presidents. Okay. Okay, so we don't need to vote on that.
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay, so so yeah.
Okay, so, and I'm so sorry. Yeah.
The motion was to make a presentation to the municipalities.
So the motion was to make presentation to the municipalities prior to the meeting of the chiefs for that quarter. It was made by Mrs. Bryant and it was seconded by Mr. O'Neill. All in favor, raise your hand. One, Mr. O'Neill. All, not in favor? Okay. Oh,
Just to give,
yes, ma'am. So that would be, okay,
that's everything.
yes. And Ms. Springs, did I see your hand up, ma'am? Yes, ma'am, thank you so much. All right, that was 8-1, yes.
Okay, the next thing I have is the downtown Lava Festival, which was last weekend. Really, really good. We had a lot of people there, a lot of vendors there. It rained 4:30, so they didn't get a chance to go out till 6. But the organizer of the festival, Randy Atchison, he did invite us to make some kind of presentation, maybe provide information to his group, to the Largo, association. So I haven't confirmed with him when or where, or, what the population is and, that, so I'll bring that back again.
Oh, I'm sorry, I did attend the Largo Festival, it was pretty well attended.
Right, it was.
And then they have their back to me support.
Yeah, right, that's what he was talking about. And we got a inquiry from a community member who wanted to know if volunteers, exist for the community to assist us with the outreach, or whatever capacity. And then reading Mr. James' report from the Maypole, event, he suggested that we find young people to get involved so that they can, also reach them. That's really something that we need to do. So have a youth cohort, and I'm not sure what a volunteer would do. We can think about that. But I think it's a great idea to make, some kind of a cohort of young people and community members who want to be part.
And so I guess, okay, so I guess we can think about that and maybe our next meeting. have
Just put
something
it on
about
your
that.
thinking
Yeah,
caps. And see what-
okay. Good idea, okay. And that was it.
Yep, that's it.
And you did include the municipalities.
I
in that.
did, yeah. Anybody can speak to this?
Thank you.
No.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Bryant. Next up is data analysis, 95. The data guru Coleman.
No update, since the last meeting, but I, came in late and I think I heard Mr. Melton talk about some data or dispositional analysis from the AHB. So if there's something that you all that needs assistance with, just let me know. And I will be happy to help if you could. Because I think I heard that we don't have that, and I think that's sort of been my experience in looking at the data, but should you, receive that, I would be happy to assist.
Thank you, Dr. Coleman. Next up, legislation and recommendations.
Good evening. You have the report from the subcommittee and you also received an email update from Spaghetti regarding. Sorry. Sorry about that. So you already have it. Again, just tracking the specific bills, the specific resolution that is currently moving through council CR 077-2025. And so there was amendments made during that meeting. They have not published it yet. So as soon as that's available, we will extend that to you for your review. Changed it slightly. And once we have that, revised version and any future hearing dates, when that goes to council, we will make you all aware. So that's all from that committee. Thank you, sir.
Thank
I just want to say I attended that hearing and it was just nice. It seems like the PUB is well regarded. So
Hearing.
you want to see,
Oh, and then
so, yeah. Yeah, so I think, I thank you for that bit. So, looks like we are very.
Well, actually, when I was at the, Mako, I heard a lot of comments about our PAP as opposed to others, and they really were complimentary. So you guys, good job. I'm sharing here.
Thank you, Mr. James. Thank you, everyone. Yes, ma'am.
Sure. And I mentioned at the last meeting, the chair, I think he's the chair of Baltimore, PAB is trying to put together collaboration. So I'm working with the chair so that they can meet, so that this group would have an opportunity on the statewide collaboration. After that, chair will say.
Oh, I'm sorry, one more thing.
Yes, ma'am.
With regard to the, joint PAB thing, I reached out to the organizers of Mako to get the rules for submitting the proposed, session for next year. And the deadline, and I'll give you that information as it comes in.
Thank you. All right, so if we can just make sure, I'm sorry, I'm speaking to the microphone a little louder, so everyone, if we can just speak into our microphones, so that there may be some audio issues, so that we can, so the people that are participating and listening can hear us. Next up on our agenda. Open this annual report. One of the things I was thinking about, I forgot my notes, but one of the things I was thinking about is, to try to really draft the annual report so that it is, citizen friendly with a lot of data. You know that, we talk about, data a lot in reporting out. But I think that when, Mr. Melton was talking about the HB and, trying to track those things, I think that that's something that, definitely needs to be in the annual report. And a lot of data, and that's some of the things that we can put on our survey, is to ask the, citizens and the public, what are some of the things you'd like to see reported, in our annual report? Does anybody have any, updates on from their subcommittees or anything so far about what they want to put in the annual report?
Well, we've been submitting a report and photos and all of that.
That's the biggest part, the photos. And again, thank you for that. We definitely do need to send those photos, that we take. And even if you're out, like when you go to the coffee club and those presentations and things like that, we can submit some photos for that as well. For the annual report. So I know that we are in September, and I'm hoping that by the next meeting, we can start to pull some of the annual report together to, see how it's going to look. And so we'll talk about that at the next meeting so that we can get in front of it. So all we have to do is pretty much compile the data, the year-end data, and just have it all together so we can be, real time as of, December 31st. Just put that data in there and submit it.
Yeah, and it seems like the portions of the annual report coincide with the committee. So that's really good. And, all the work that you've all been doing, it's easier to regurgitate it during.
And put it together.
Yeah.
Yeah, great. Thank you. Under new business, next agenda item, strategic plan update. I didn't see who was supposed to do a strategic plan update. Okay.
I know for me,
Oh, I'm sorry.
I know I have requested the item because I know we adopted a strategic plan. We had several milestones, goals and objectives, and we just haven't seemed to be tracking them. So I wasn't sure how we were tracking, whether we were making success. I think we invested a lot of time and energy into developing the plan. I think the plan addressed some of the questions that we raised this evening. When we talk about community outreach, we talk about data collection. And so, since we put the time and energy in developing the plan, That's why I was just looking for where we were with it, so how it's being tracked, so we know if we're meeting those milestones, because we did set dates within that plan as well. But we have not heard back on it. After the last document I had was dated July 10th of 2024, was the last time we actually addressed it in a meeting.
Yeah, I agree with that. I just pulled up the dashboard that I created that was itemized based on the strategic action plan and what quarters could be provided updates. I think it might be a good opportunity for someone, if they have the capacity, to maybe take that on. I won't be volunteering for that, but I think if somebody could dedicate time to just looking at maybe the dashboard, comparing it against the strategic action plan that we adopted, and just starting to see where there might be some direction given to how we can sort of coalesce and make sure people are, aware of some of these assignments and goals that we have. And then, again, as Mr. James said, start to formally track where we are. And then maybe that will even lead to some summarization of what we've been able to accomplish regarding the plan. And that might be also able to be, put us in a good place for the annual.
So, Mr. Melton, can you just send that out again to us, to everyone? So we can take a look at that, the dashboard that you created?
I'll bring it to the top of your inbox.
Okay, and then, we can, put that on our next agenda, and then hopefully somebody can look at that and volunteer.
Yeah, and it may need updates, but back to that original strategic action.
Thank you, sir. Next up, under new business is Nate Cole, NYC Regional Meeting. I think that is you, Mr. James.
Thank you. You all have written reports, so won't go through all of that. It occurred back in May. But there were a couple items that I think are for you to really consider moving forward. I've highlighted those in there in the recommendations. Ms. Bryant alluded to one of them, one being consider adding youth community members to assist. To Mr. Melton's earlier point, that may help drive decisions regarding community outreach. If we decide one year we want to focus on youth, that may be youth engagement, may be our focus. And that's how we decide which presentations. We might reach out to certain organizations. You mentioned Hispanic community or Spanish speaking community. There may be youth organizations that helps us make that decision. So we can chart out our whole year and know that we dedicated it to a particular demographic that we want to extend ourselves and try to make them aware of it. Annual meeting with stakeholder organizations, again, is an opportunity to create that engagement. I think it's also an opportunity for community input regarding the work that we do. And it also can be a catalyst for opportunities for us to do some of that engagement. So I think it's worth considering that as a part of it, as the stakeholders, as we think about the annual report, more than just publishing it on the webpage. That's an opportunity to have a conversation with the community. What are we hearing? What are we seeing? But also getting their feedback, see if it matches. So I think that that's something to consider too. And then collecting data from sources other than police departments. So that may be something for us to consider as we're trying to gain more information there. So I put those recommendations out of this. Then the final one was to host PABs, attend a day-long training, which I think has been discussed as well. So I've heard that, and I saw the collaboration at this event that occurred there, whether it was from oversight boards in New York or New Jersey or Connecticut. They all have engaged with each other at some level. They know each other. They're working through things. They're also looking across states because they see things happen in one place and then move to another. So I definitely encourage, if you have the opportunity to attend one of these regional trainings or some of the other trainings, that you definitely do that and take that opportunity. So, just wanted to be sure. It was in New York. Or it was in New York. So they have a regional one. They just had one out in San Francisco area as well. So they're doing things. So
Congratulations on your designation as a oversight
Yeah, I think that's again another I dovetail that into the next thing, that certified practitioner oversight is another opportunity really to learn about what's going on, what's occurring, and as well as understanding those perspectives and seeing how different oversight organizations, what they're facing and how they're overcoming those challenges, but also having the opportunity to engage with people who sit in similar roles that we do, to understand how can you more effectively do your jobs or do our jobs and engage with the community. So definitely encourage, if you have that opportunity, extending yourself to those training opportunities, going through that learning opportunity, going to those events. I think it's worthwhile to definitely do that because they are focused on exactly what we are focused on as a board. So it really is a meaningful experience all the way around, not one or two sessions. It is a full, meaningful opportunity.
I would agree with you, and I would say our resources maybe need to be more towards that rather than in the bell and use that for the nation, because that, like you said, addresses specifically what we need and how we can.
Makes sense. Yes. Thank you, and you did, thank you so much. Check that out. So thank you, we covered the certified practitioner roles. So this is a program. Thank you again, Mr. James, for that as well. Did anyone sign up and have any comments?
I just have a comment.
Oh, I'm sorry. Ms. Maxwell, it is not intentional, please. Don't. I'm so used to being here. That's why I look around. So go ahead, man.
Me too. Still healing. Anyway, I also wanted to chime in terms of the one that's right here in the state, because I went to that one in the spring, the one the PAB training where you meet other PAB board members from across the state, that's hosted by the state. And that was a really good training. I know Ebony sends out information for us and encourages us, but it really checked off a lot of dots for me. I think it's helpful. And we also get to meet different people from across the state of Maryland that are right here. I was there with some of the larger jurisdictions too, like Baltimore City, yeah, and Montgomery. So just wanted to chime in terms of stuff, networking like that and training.
With the police department, is that what it is?
I didn't hear you. I'm sorry.
No, I was saying that, yeah, we went to that one, yeah, so that's the training that's under the police training academy or whatever, right?
Yeah, that was good. It was good for me. Yeah.
Right.
Mhm.
Thank you, Mrs. Maxwell. Okay. While we're on that, I know that we did attend the NACO, and I know that you guys had, shared, I don't know if we spoke a lot about what you guys, participated in. Makeup.
Yeah.
Makeup.
So,
So what I also would like to know, I know that some of our staff had attended that as well. So I would like to see, what the staff, if they can provide an overview to the board as well, as what they saw. And we can get the people who attended that as well, the Mako conference. So we can put that on the next week's agenda as well. So I'm asking for those that attended to provide us some type of written report or maybe a presentation.
yeah, Mr. O'Neill submitted.
Mako.
Yes.
I'm mixing them up. I'm sorry. Yes.
Yeah, he submitted it.
Yeah, I was asking for, yeah, the staff. That would be first. And
Yeah, and I said this yet last year, that the MML and NACO is great for this general information. But I think it would be more beneficial to do NACO all of this. So that's just my opinion.
So I did, I'm sorry, any other board members? Okay. We feel your presence. I'm so sorry if I did not see your hand.
Yeah.
But just definitely let me know. Hands up, so I apologize. Did we have anyone that signed up for a public comment? Ms. Allen or? No, okay. I don't think that I have anything else. Does anyone have anything else? One thing I do want to say is that, thank you, Mrs. Bryant, for all of the opportunities for community outreach. I think that really, the Hispanic community is definitely in need of knowing who we are, and that we're there to support them. So I think that that is something that maybe we can do, maybe even twice, to be honest. And I think that, we could reach out to, chief in the, whatever jurisdiction is, but the county council member who has a high Hispanic population. I think we need to do something like that as well. So they can send it out to their people with whatever events that they have.
I think we would definitely need the staff's assistance with doing that, reach out to the councils and mayors, whatever, and disseminate the survey.
Okay.
I mean, I'm willing to help however I can,
Ms. Allen is the guru on that too. She
but
does a
she's doing a great
fantastic
job.
job.
She's amazing, she takes care of
Yeah.
everything, keeps it right on.
So by the time we adjourn the meeting, she's gonna already have it in motion, I'm telling you. So we appreciate you, Ms. Allen. All right, that's all that I had. Anyone else? Mrs. Springs,
I move that we adjourn the meeting.
motion to adjourn made by Mrs. Springs. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Mr. Melton. All in favor to adjourn, say aye. Aye. Hands up. Dr. Crowley, everybody. Meeting adjourned at 7:58 PM. Thank you, everyone.